The hardest part for me is admitting that I needed help. I refuse to acknowledge that I am broken. I tried pushing myself to function. It is like driving with a broken engine, with a limited gas in a long, bumpy road in the middle of nowhere. It took me years and a lot of questionable life choices and strain and broken bridges to realize that I can't do this alone. And I need professional help and strong doses of antipsychotics and mood stabilizers to help me deal with my trauma and mental health issues. I have a plethora of mental health issues. I am diagnosed with bipolar 1, borderline personality disorder, PTSD, and body dysmorphia. When you think of someone with multiple mental health issues, the first thing that pops into your mind is someone in a straitjacket, living in a psychiatric facility, talking to themselves, basically out of their minds. But when you look at me from afar, it seems that I have it all. There's barely any trace of mental health illness in my system. I have a high paying job. I'm currently taking my master's degree. I have a somewhat stable relationship between my friends and my family. It seems that I have everything under control, right? 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 But if you look closely, you'll realize how fucked up I am. I have created some boundaries how much a person can know me, which fails most of the time. It's not that I'm antisocial, but I'm doing my best to protect myself from being abused and protecting the people that I love from being abused from my episodes. For so many years, I deluded myself that I don't need any help. It's just not, I'm not trying hard enough to reach my goals. I thought by having a high paying job or being a high functioning member of society will cure the endless feeling of inadequacy. Only it didn't. My response is to add more work, more than that I could chew, until I mentally crack. When I tell people that I have bipolar disorder, some of them would just be like, oh honey, it's just a phase. We all experience burnout. Or they will be like, oh, you're just overreacting like all millennials do. Don't you know that the world has bigger problems than you do? Or they would tell me I should pray to God more. I have nothing against religion. Prayer helps, but it's not the whole cure, okay? In fact, some people will just straight up tell me that God is punishing me for the lack of faith and I should pray more, do more, and repent for my sins. As if I asked to have this illness. Oh, how I long to feel normal. Oh God, or any deity in the sky, I beg of you to take away my pain. Every day I feel like I'm walking on eggshell. One wrong step, I can mess up all the progress that I have made. I only agreed to see a psychiatrist before because it was one of the clauses to get me admitted back to medical school. At first, I'm not really serious with this mental health stuff. I find it shameful and I hate admitting that I am defective. Now, I am more ashamed that I didn't take my mental health seriously earlier. And I really hate myself for not listening to the advice of others, especially from my psychiatrists and my friends. I don't blame them for cutting ties with me. I am really toxic during that time, and I probably still am, but in a lesser degree. Contrary to those popular beliefs that having a manic episode, not every time you will be productive or creative like those celebrity and artists. It is still a case to case basis. There are times during my manic episode that I'm more confident, creative, where I can finish a lot of things in a short span of time. It feels so great. It is like you have taken up mountains, tons of stimulants, everything feels so bright and colorful and slow. You're overflowing with ideas and thoughts. Everything is just so grand. Like everything in my mind is $1 million idea. The thoughts are in my head are racing faster than the speed of light, where my mouth couldn't stop talking and talking for hours. I have lost the sense of inhibition to the point where I could no longer recognize the consequences of my action and infliction of my words. They say in physics, what comes up must go down. A week or so, everything comes crashing down. I would describe having a manic episode is like you're jumping from the sky without a parachute. The rush, the thrill, the excitement you feel when you fall down from the sky. Once reality hits you, it's like hitting head first in the concrete after falling from the sky and realizing what a bloody mess you have made. You wake up back to reality only for you to find out how much damage you have made in such short span of time. Realizing all the cringy and awful things that I've done in the state of bliss, the darkness starts to consume me, amplifying every wrong thing that I have done in my life, amplifying the every negative trait that I have, every insecurity that I have in my bones, echoing in the four corners of my being, to the point I become a shell of my former self. That the darkness was so strong it made me consider ending everything countless of times. I have been dealing with my sadness for so long it became my lullaby to sleep. I know I can't erase the painful memories of my past or the cringy things that I've done. All I can do is cope with my issues in a healthier way. Am I now the picture of a perfect mental health? Well, that is a big no. I still have a lot of issues that I need to work on. Despite all of my shortcomings and my tendency to fall back to my destructive ways, I know I'm doing my best to be the best version of myself. If you're struggling with your mental health like I do, please seek help. There's nothing to be ashamed of in getting a mental health treatment.